Hello and welcome to my top 5 American prop video. Now, if you know anything about me, I love all aircraft, but my favorite are the prop warbirds of World War II that flew for America. So this will be on my top 5 list. Most of these are low tier. So sit back and relax and let's get started with the top 5 American props. At number 5 is the P-61 Black Widow. This pursuit aircraft is very unique because you do have 4 20mm cannons and you have a rotating quad 50 cal machine gun on the top. This thing is not a bomber. This is a pursuit aircraft, being the P-61. But what this thing can do is it can bomber hunt with the best of them because you don't have to take off from the runway. You're already at 10,000 feet when you spawn. So we're just going to fly up here, get in position to hunt these bombers. But the reason this is number 5, there's no other prop in War Thunder for the American tech tree that you can do this with. You have the A-20, you have the A-26, but they're strictly ground attack. This is actually built to be a pursuit aircraft. So this is really the only airframe you can do this with for America. And the unique style of a massive twin boom center fuselage. So pretty much this, I mean, just like the P-38, this has 3 fuselage. You have the main pilot, radio operator, and radar operator, and the gunner. And then you have your engine nacelles, which are also fuselage. The way they figured out how to use spoilers to turn the aircraft faster, that's Northrop right there. Design innovation. And the P-61 is fitted with hardpoints to be able to put 4 1,000-pound bombs if you want a ground strike. The only thing is there is no Norton bomb sight in this, so you got to really just either flat bomb or be able to dive bomb with it, which it does have flaps, or it does have. He knows how to attack this aircraft. But does he have the speed to catch? I think he does. He doesn't have the speed. Okay. So we can make it back to base, but there's really no point. We have plenty of cannons. There's that J-26 down there. We're going to give him a nice little boom and zoom. He's heading back to base. There's another AM-7. So the good thing about this plane is you can also dive, not worry about breaking your wings off, because with your air brakes, you reduce your speed, and we're still cruising. Oh, we got it. At my number 4 position is the P-38 Lightning. This aircraft is definitely not a dogfighter, but the speed you get with this, and this certain P-38 is the P-38E sitting at 3.0. What this plane has in speed, you don't need to be turning with this. You already get the interceptor spawn. So we're already spawning, 5,000 feet above the ground. And so we can climb up, get our altitude up, and be over all the other maneuverable fighters. So remember, this plane is built to intercept for the speed. So you really need to be having that altitude advantage. In real life, the P-38 was one of the most fastest plane in production in the late 1930s. The Army was still using biplanes when this was being created. We are just getting with the P-36. So this was very ahead of its time and a unique model. This was the first twin engine nacelle boom with the fuselage in the middle. You do have 20mm and 50 cals in the nose. So there's no convergence or anything on that. They don't have to angle with the guns in for them to hit at a certain point. So this thing can be a pretty good sniper in game. During the war, the pilots of the Luftwaffe, they named this aircraft the Fork-Tail Devil, and they weren't lying. This thing was a menace to German pilots because they really didn't know how to fight it. They were going up against Spitfires and P-40s and not really anything with cannons either. Up until this point, America really only put 50 cals in their aircraft, high caliber machine guns. They even put 30 cals in there. All right, we're gonna make this man do a stall climb. He cannot get his nose on my... And we're gonna come down, flaps up, or flaps down. Just like that. Fork-tailed devil. But if you use this plane in the right way, use your speed, endurance, and energy, you will destroy anything in the sky. So the P-38 is my top 4 prop in the American tech tree. And for my number 3 aircraft, the P-39 Airacobra. This aircraft was, again, another innovative design. With the engine being behind the pilot, it was supposed to make the nose more agile to get on target. Also, just like the A-10 of its time, the 37mm cannon was put right in the middle of the aircraft, directly in the center. And then it has 4 50 cals, 2 on the pod and 2 in the nose. The only bad thing about this aircraft, it was not a good design for what the U.S. Army Air Corps needed. So a lot of these actually went to Russia for the Lend-Lease program. But other than that, in the actual game of War Thunder, the P-39 can hold its own. It can actually turn very well due to the thick elliptical wings. Now, you still want to carry speed and more boom and zoom tactics. And this was one of the first aircraft to have a full, not canopy, but windows all the way around the pilot so he could see right behind his aircraft. Now, these doors, these were actually from the auto manufacturer Oldsmobile. So these were car doors that were designed to be in the P-39. Now, what it did, it made it really hard to eject from the aircraft because you couldn't just open the whole canopy and jump out. But for the wartime, you could just see how they were patching these together, making them work for what they needed to. Now we're going to send some 37mm cannons at this guy. Alright, he's going down. So as you can see, just one 37mm cannon hit, and it just rips wings off. I think those are the last few people, so I'm going to come down and help these guys out. There's a MiG, Spitfire, 2 Spitfires and a MiG. The P-38 is going for an attack on him. We're going to get some altitude back up and go for that other Spitfire. We're going to go for this Spitfire before he gets back to base. I think these are the last 2. No, there's a couple more. So we're catching him. This should be an easy shot, hopefully. Okay, he's turning. So as you can see, the Spitfire can turn very easy. Now this thing, again, as I'm saying, pull off. Okay, he got a little crit. I'm gonna come around. Got a hit on him. It's not the best dogfighter, but it can hang compared to the other boom zoom aircraft of America. There we go. And there's 2. So we just cleaned up 2 Spitfires. And for my number 2 aircraft, it is the P-51C Mustang. Now in real life, the P-51C is not my favorite Mustang. Of course, it's the P-51D. I think that's everyone's favorite Mustang. But in the game of War Thunder, the P-51C flies so well. Having that Merlin engine and being a little lighter, it can turn so much better than the P-51D. So I still play it the same way. Get altitude, keep that energy. But at the end of the game, when there are a couple Spitfires or BF-109s left, you can turn with them. And sometimes the BF-109s, you can outturn them. So this only has 4 50 cals compared to the other P-51s having 6. But if you get your shots on targets, those shots on target, you will be able to take out targets pretty easy. Because again, they still are 50 cals, so they still will chew through fuselages and wings and engines. In the history of the P-51 Mustang, these were the first to receive the Merlin engines. As of the P-51A, the engines we had for those were the Allisons, the same ones I think in the P-40. They were not good at high altitude. Low altitude, they were amazing, but again, for what we needed them to be, high altitude bomber escorts, they would not get the job done. So when they came out with the B and C models, which the only difference in those is where they're made. The B models were made in California and the C models were made in Dallas. So with this new Merlin, it performed astronomically in the higher altitudes that we needed. And just the sound that Merlin gave to the Mustang was just so iconic. So this definitely is a beauty. But I will say I do like the bubble canopy of the later model P-51s. But in the game of War Thunder, this thing is a capable pursuit aircraft. And when you need it to be, it can be a dogfighter. It's lighter than the P-51B. It's lighter than the P-51D. So it has a little bit more speed. And you are fighting at 3.7. So if you get lucky, you can fight pretty low BR aircraft in this. You can hear through the RCSM mod, you can hear that iconic howl of the P-51. We're gonna cut our engine so he can't really hear us. And then just put that throttle all the way. We're gonna run away. We're gonna come up and position ourselves to get this BF or FW-190. Oh yeah, we're gonna put him in a stock line. Beautiful. Come on, get that nose on him. Oh man, that hole in our wing that yeah, gave us it just. Nope, we're done. And for the honorable mention spot, it has to be the B-25 Mitchell. This is probably one of the first World War II bombers I was able to really get time with, being there was a B-25 at the CAF near my house. I grew up with this aircraft. And so as soon as I got War Thunder, this is the first plane I really wanted to fly. Now, I would say for the prop bombers, this one is probably the best to fly due to it being pretty nimble You can fly it around. You don't have to worry about overloading such as the B-17s do. And then the B-29 is just, by the time you're in that, the BR is set to low jets. And so half the time you're just getting peppered by jet aircraft. So this is at 3.7. So it's the same BR as the P-51C that we just flew. The only thing you have to deal with is the rate of climb of the BF-109s, but if you can stay kind of stealthy, you'll be able to bomb your targets. But I usually don't play bombers in this game. I usually have all my bombers for air shows or if we're doing bomber formations. But just the legacy of the B-25 is why I love it so much. And also, it can be used as a bomber hunter. And then you have turrets all the way around as well. So just being able to fly this historic plane in War Thunder is such a cool activity to do. Now, are you gonna get a lot of kills in this? No, you're not. Are you gonna get, you know, a lot of bombing targets hit? No, not really, because you have enough to hit a base. Let's see if I can destroy this base without this Japanese aircraft coming in and swatting me. Drop all our bombs, and there's a BF-109. So we're gonna say hi to. He's gonna try to. Yeah, he's gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna go to. And this is the game of bombing in War Thunder. But the B-25 will not get any points deducted from that game design. That is strictly Gaijin, and the art of bombing in this game is completely in the trash can right now. But I still love the B-25, and even though it's flopping around, going to hit the skies, I'm gonna let my crew get out. But it's just it's such beautiful aircraft to fly, and the iconicness of the airframe is why I love it. So let's head on to the #1 spot. Now for my #1 spot, the F4U-1A Corsair sitting at 2.7. I do believe this is my favorite Corsair and my favorite American prop to play in. Sitting at 2.7, the Pratt & Whitney that this plane is equipped with is such a powerful engine, and the turn capability of this aircraft is phenomenal for the BR. Now I know the other F4Us, they have 4 cannons or a more powerful engine, but where this sits at the BR, this is just the sweet spot for the Corsair. It's also equipped with 650 cals. So the job of setting people on fire is just phenomenal. And if you get a pretty good BR placement, you will be dealing with early war aircraft. As you can see right there, a Ju-87 and an HS-129. Those are very easy to take care of. 2 HS-129s, 3 HS-129s, all the ducks in a row, and then you have a Stuka. So we're gonna go for, there are 4 of them. Though if you don't know what the HS-129 is, it is the duck. They are very slow attacker planes, and they have pretty much they're a sitting duck. They do have a massive, you can get a massive 75mm cannon on it, but I would never take them into a ground or an air RB. they thrive in ground RB, especially at the low BR they are at. So we don't actually have to get that much of altitude in this game mode, because the BF-109s at this level are not the grade A climbers they are in the higher 3.7 to 5.0. But we're still going to play like a boom and zoom. This will turn a lot better than any of the planes on my list. But still, we're going to treat it like a typical American fighter. Are we going? We're just going up against Germany. Okay, so it is a small game, so we're gonna have to, let's just go and attack. And he's going for the the French light bomber. So we're gonna try and see if he's gonna turn with him, and then I can come in and, oh, perfect. See, this is why bomber tunnel vision is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are in another small game with the F4U-1A Corsair, and we're going against Japan. Look at this. Now, again, the Corsair was designed specifically to deal with the zeros of the time, because as of 1941 and early 1942, we really only had the Wildcat, and the Wildcat wasn't very good to deal with the zeros. All right, so we got a Japanese Helldiver taking out some of our ground forces. So what I will say is, if you overspeed this aircraft, it will kind of not turn as well. So definitely keeping it about from 300 to 400 is the best way to go. All right, so that guy, the guy in the B-25, tried to take out the Helldiver, but unfortunately he crashed into the mountain. So we're gonna try and take this Helldiver out. I feel like there's another one of our fighters coming in. But our 650 cows are going to take him out. Again, we want to have a good amount of speed, and if we need to, we can dive out of a attack. That Helldiver's trying to do a head-on, and they do have cannons, so I don't want to give them a good shot. And they can turn pretty well. And the fact that he can, yeah, he can. And that's why we never underestimate any aircraft. So that is the number one on my list, the F4U-1A Corsair. So that was my top 5 prop American aircraft. If you have a different list, let me know down in the comments. If you agree with this list, also put that down in the comments. And if you dislike American props, I understand. It's not for everyone. It's a lot of patience getting your plane in the right position, because you would not be able to just turn on a dime and get on a tail of an aircraft. So if y'all enjoyed today's video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you won't be forgotten on any future videos. Well, that's all for today. This is Perhaps Mayfield signing off. I will see y'all in the next flight.